Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am your Dragon Slayer Crone and Word Witch Extraordinaire, who can't talk actually. My name is Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista. She is our crystal-loving witch, or traveling crystal crone, as it were. And she is with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. And of course, as always, supporting us from below, we have Miss Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. And Damaris is our stargazer crone, telling us all about where the planets are or what they're doing to us this week.
Yes.
Awesome. So, ladies, did you have a good week? How's everything going?
It's going well here in New York.
I hear the Prince was in town this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in town for the Earthshot Awards, and apparently there's some school on Governor's Island down in New York City that was created just to teach about maritime jobs.
Oh wow!
So like it's a special high school just for maritime people, or people that want to go into those kinds of careers. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But it was really rainy, wasn't it?
It was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you've had a great week?
Yes, definitely did.
Awesome. How about you, Krista? I know you went to Oracle Palooza. Hi, Harry.
I did. And I actually got to also go to the Invictus Games in Dusseldorf, Germany on Thursday. Yes. And I don't know if you saw, but I got to see Prince Harry and Meghan.
Isn't that kind of funny? They're flipped right now.
Yep.
Harry's in Europe and William's in North America.
However it works. But yeah, the Invictus Games is one of Prince Harry's,
that's his passion project.
That's his passion. Thank you. I was thinking pride. No, passion. It is his passion. And honestly, it was so cool. I had so much fun for the very short period of time we were there. I actually volunteered to do the one in Vancouver, Canada in 2025. Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, so Kevin and I both signed up to be volunteers. We'll see if we make it through the vetting process. I really hope so. I would love to be a volunteer at the Invictus Games.
If you don't make it through the vetting process, if you and Kevin do not make it through the vetting process, I want to see what they're looking at.
Yeah, me too. But, hey, I don't know. But yeah, so we're really excited about that. And then I did Oracle Palooza with Colette Baron Reed all weekend. See, I posted pictures. Oracle Palooza. I have to say, and okay. And then I don't have all of Colette's decks as of yet. They all don't speak to me. And I say as of yet, because who knows what's going to happen. If I do Oracle School
snappy decks.
She's she's at 15, 16 decks already. Yeah. Her decks are amazing, by the way. Her Oracle decks are amazing. And this one is called the Dreamweaver, and that's the one that came with the Oracle Palooza. And I'll be honest, when I first opened this deck up, I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to like it. I'm just not feeling this deck. Well, now I'm in love with this deck.
Okay. All right. So
it all flipped. It flipped like within about an hour of playing with this deck. I actually started playing with the deck, and hey, Reggie, I just saw him. Yeah, I was a speed demon at the base in the post office. He works at our post office, and I was like, I can't talk. I have to go get on camera.
Just a reminder he needed to join us today. Fabulous. Welcome, Reggie.
Just in time. So yeah, and at first I was like, I'm not sure how I'm gonna, but actually I'm enjoying this deck so much that I'm probably going to switch from the Gabby Bernstein Miracles Now deck that I usually give all my classes. Because I give everybody a deck. If you take a class from me, you get a deck of some sort. And if you're going to take a class, you're probably going to get this deck now.
We need to create our own deck.
You're right. We do.
To work on that.
We need to get. I know we started it, and I'm not saying. And I think that we need to get back to work and doing it. Yes, definitely. But yeah, I mean, for me, if you're looking for a really cool Oracle deck, and it's really good because this particular deck, it doesn't do reverse. No. So you don't have any protection, any protection drawings, like that's what it is when it's upside down. But really,
read responsibly, use protection.
Yes, read responsibly.
Let's just right underneath Krista's vibrate responsibly. And we are
there you go. Exactly. You know me, I'm all about being protected.
Right? Right?
Oh boy.
Mulberry.
You know,
in the comments, please. Mulberry for me.
So yeah, this is a great deck. So I'm just going to give one plug really quick. Oracle Paloozas once a year. Colette Baron-Reid does it actually at the end of Mercury retrograde in September. Always, it's that weekend there. I didn't realize that until I was listening, watching the chats and everything. There are over almost 3,000 of us from 52 countries.
Wow.
That attended this Oracle Palooza. It was fantastic. But you go deep. You can go deep. Think of yourself as a project. Think of yourself as an onion, right? There are many layers. So depending upon where you are with these layers will depend upon how deep you're going, right? And so it was super cool. But yeah, so each day you do stuff. I mean, I have all this writing, and you pull cards because everything is about pulling a card. You do meditations, and Colette does amazing meditations. Yeah. I have to tell you, I figured out who I want to be when I grow up, or who I would like to be like when I grow up.
That's
okay. I'd like to be like Colette. I don't want to be her because, she's awesome on her own. But her energy, she and I it's very interesting. I listen to her and she, I think I resonate a lot with her because she's very grounded and she teaches in a very similar manner to what I teach. And not that it's always good to be taught by this in the same manner that you teach necessarily. But I don't know, it's so much fun. In any case, I had fun, in case you're wondering.
Okay, so with your permission, I'm going to pull apart that thing that you just said, because a lot of us do the same thing that you're doing right now, okay? When I grow up, I want to be like Colette, okay? Here's the reality.
Yeah, exactly.
You're already very much like Colette. That's why you resonate with her. So
exactly.
There's nowhere to get. You are there.
I'm there. Now I just need to create I need to create one deck. How about that? It's okay because that's how my friend.
That's the start.
Yeah, I've already. I mean, I actually had started it. I just need to sit with it and do it. And it was very funny. I was listening to because I listened to her podcast, which is called The Wooniverse. By the way, Wooniverse. I love it. And she was talking with with another person with the person she was interviewing, and they were talking because they both do decks, very different kind of decks, but they both create decks. And they were talking about, oh yeah, it is not to do a really good deck, to do it with everything, right? Pouring yourself into it. It is not necessarily a overnight thing. It's not, it takes weeks, if not months, because you have to download, as it were, the information, and you know, and they talk about making sure that it flows so that it makes sense, so people will continue to pick the deck up. Otherwise, I mean, we all have them. We all have deck. Well, those of us who have decks collections that we've picked up and we're like, yeah, this just doesn't resonate.
Oh yeah, I had to bury my Rider Waite. I can't even use it. It was just mean. It was mean.
Yeah. And there are just some decks that, you know, it's like that just, no, this isn't the energy I am looking, I'm wanting to resonate with. This isn't a high vibration for me. For me, I need that in an Oracle deck or any deck I play with, whether it's an Oracle deck, an activation deck, even a tarot deck, which I only have, I have two. And I have another, and just inspiration decks. You know, they need to be really warm and fuzzy.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, what's the mulberry? What was that?
Underwear. We're doing an underwear. I'm all here on my own, showing my underwear to everybody, and nobody's doing it with me.
Okay. I'm gonna put mine on. Actually, it's funny. I think I'm wearing the same colors I did last week.
As long as they're not the same pair unwashed, we're good.
Well, as long as they're washed.
I've done laundry since then. You know, I've also slept since then.
Oh my God. Speaking of sleep, I came home from work yesterday and took a nap, right? My intention was to get up for dinner and go have dinner at my sister's house at 6:00. It was 7:45 when I woke up. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I had a nap there. And then I was up for an hour, 8, went back to sleep and slept for 11 more. And woke up with a stitch in my back like I've been stabbed. Must be from not moving.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, it's too much laying.
Yeah.
Too much laying. So yeah, I got that to cover up or to
but you were tired.
Yeah. I figure I'm probably fighting off something. You know? I find maybe you guys can resonate with this. Maybe somebody out there in the audience can resonate as well. Remember, you know how you work, you're just too busy to be sick, right? And then something happens, like you go on vacation.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, all of the sludge that's been waiting in the wings just decides to attack your body. And you're like, oh my God, why did I have to be sick on my vacation? You know? Well, that's happening to me right now with my work hours going down in half. My body's going, oh, it's time to rest. We have work to do, regardless if we're showing up at the same place. You know? So, but yeah, I think seriously, I've been Yep. Have you? You sound a little congested, Krista.
No, I suddenly am, actually. It's kind of funny. I ran out late this afternoon to do errands. I had started early earlier, but I'm helping I had to help a neighbor, and the work people, I got a message saying they'll be there between the next 30 minutes or in the next 60 minutes. And of course it was more than 60 minutes. Because otherwise I could have gotten everything done. It's all
right.
good. But yeah, so I'm come back from, I had started doing my errands. So I came back to help my neighbor, which was great. I love doing that. And it was like, I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, I'm starting to get a little congested. What's going on here? Which I have a Reiki class I'm teaching for the rest of the week. I'm like, I can't get sick.
Yeah.
So definitely. I'm like, no. But I resonate with that.
For the next week. Unless you've got already one for yourself, but for everybody else, and this is a really good winter flu, keep your sludge away from me potion to drink in the morning. Okay. I put a little bit of magnesium malate in it, which helps for energy and joint lack of pain and performance, happiness. It helps. And then, but the most important stuff is a half a teaspoon of cayenne powder. The juice of a half of a lemon and a teaspoon of honey, and then just a few drops of hot water to get the honey to like dissolve and become part of the solution, because the honey neutralizes the spiciness of the pepper. But once it hits your body, you are gonna just melt out of your sinuses. So good luck with that.
I'm gonna give that a try. You need to type that out.
Okay, we will type that out.
But I'm going to give that a go because I have everything.
We've got half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of honey, half the juice of half of a lemon, and maybe a tablespoon of hot water to get it to all neutral. Like become together, become a solution. If you will. All right. And then if you want to, you can throw some magnesium in there, magnesium malate. That's the one that I use to perk up my attitude and get my knees moving. All righty.
All right.
Ready, Damaris?
That's awesome.
Awesome. Here we go.
I'm ready.
All right. All right. So we're getting ready to go into Libra season. So on the 23rd. Also, we have the Libra equinox on the 23rd. And we also have the South Node in Libra. So I'll explain all of that. But it's a season of change. So there's a lot of change coming. Actually, from the 23rd, which is the equinox, to the next winter solstice, which is 3 months, there's going to be a lot of, reflection on relationships, because Libra is all about relationships, whether it's business, non-romantic, romantic, all sorts of relationships that we have. What relationships are worthy of us? Which ones are going to stay? Which ones are going to go? Which ones we are going to renegotiate those contracts, if you will, with those people? And like I said, it's all sorts of relationships. Also like business relationships. Renegotiating what works, what doesn't work, which ones are aligned, which ones are not aligned. So for the next 3 months, we're going to be looking at all of that. Friendships, which ones are long-term, which ones have come to their final phase, if you will. So there's going to be a lot of shifts in relationships, if you will, sometimes even in marriages, right? Which marriages, are sustainable and which ones are not. Moving forward, we need to have, the North Node in Aries is all about our full potential. And so the South Node in Libra, which that's where it is all about what relationships are going to help us, uplift us, and support us to reach our full potential, which is the Aries energy of the North Node. So we need to look at all of that. From now on, we really need to look at what relationships are going to help us push us forward. not really, pull us back, or what relationships, are weighing us down, so to speak. And if they're weighing us down, we really can't move forward. And so it's not about, ruining relationships, or, getting rid of people that we care about. It's really, we got to think about ourselves at this point and say, okay, is this relationship pulling me back, pushing me forward? The ones that are not have to stay. They have to, because otherwise we're not going to get to the full potential. And, in astrology, I always tell people, your natal chart is a potential. You may reach your full potential with that natal chart. You may not. If you get caught, in other people's stuff, or if you get caught in not doing your own inner work, you're not going to move forward. You're going to stay. Each house, it's almost like you could spend a lifetime in one house, really, if we don't, get past certain things. And so it's about that right now. It's about, I need to heal whatever I need to heal. I need to just surround myself with the right people, with the right support system, with the right tribe. Those that don't align with that have to stay behind. You may wish them luck, love them from a distance, but you have to move forward. So that's, that's what's going on for the next 3 months. Now, we also have, on the 23rd, we're going to have the moon in Capricorn. Now, the moon in Capricorn aligns with the number 8 today. It's about making executive decisions that are right for you. It's about taking responsibility for where you are. It's about really, achieving your goals. And that's what Capricorn is all about. It's about, ownership, responsibility, achieving your goals, reaching those goals. So the moon is going to be squaring the sun in Libra on the 23rd. So you may have a difficult time deciding which relationships should go and which should stay, because it's a square. Again, it's all about relationships, because that's what Libra rules. It's about,
and it makes a lot of sense, because Libra wants to be diplomatic,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And it's not the you're done. It's
Yes.
I have given you 55 billion fucking chances. Now you're done.
But you're right. You're absolutely right.
They'll try
spoken like a Libra.
Way to make it work out. And we don't want, because it's a failure. If we lose a relationship to a Libra, that's a failure.
Yes.
We don't want to fail.
Absolutely. So they may have a difficult time. Some people may have a difficult time because that moon squaring the sun and choosing what relationships are going to stay, which ones are going to go. Again, it's not against the person. It's really about you moving forward. It's really about you taking that step into saying, I have to, excuse me, I have to get rid of this person because they're draining me, or because they're sucking my energy, and that way you're not going to make it. And we really need to make it, the planet is shifting.
What I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, right? Where this is not about you're fucked up, you don't do things the way I want you to, there's the exit, right?
Yeah.
This is about, I'm done tolerating this.
100%.
I can make changes about me. This is not about me changing you at all. It's about me letting you know that you don't get to show up in this space anymore like that.
Yes. It's about boundaries too, right? It's about, they say that boundaries is the first pillar of self-love. And so if people are overstepping their boundaries, we need to put them in place, or vice versa, right? Sometimes we overstep, right? But it is about just, what was that?
Good fences make good neighbors.
Yes. Yeah. And you have to draw the line. You do, because if you don't draw the line, people don't know where their line is. Right. And so you really have to draw the line.
And then you get those adolescent-minded people that go, "Oh, there's no line here. Well, let me find where that line is," and they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you snap them with it.
Exactly. Like I don't know about you ladies, but I'm in the place right now where I have to show up, because if I don't show up in who I said I was going to be, then I'm not going to be. And do I want to repeat, all of these lessons to get me to where I want to be? No, I don't. So I have to show up and I have to do that. I mean, I've been doing that for the last 2 years, I feel, just weeding out my garden, if you will.
Yep.
And just aligning myself also with the right people. If let's say we have a similar goal, then I have to align with you guys so that we can reach that goal. And if, like they say, if you want to be a millionaire, you can't hang out with a pothead down the street, because you're not going to be the millionaire hanging out with the pothead or the crackhead, right?
Well, true.
So, yeah, no. You have to align yourself with the people that are aligned.
Unless, of course, you're selling them something. I'm sorry, that was bad.
Well, I don't want the karma for that either. Saturn can be a bitch,
Right,
so I don't want to mess with Saturn. Yeah, no.
You don't want to have to pay for that again later.
Sorry, Krista, what were you saying?
What did you say?
I was going to say, yeah, you don't want to have to deal with. I was saying about, you said Saturn is a bitch and so is karma. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's something you don't want to have to carry around and wait for it to show up.
Yeah, no.
Right?
No. What would you think, Gayle?
I said, now I think of Saturn as Big Daddy with a belt. Those rings are a belt.
Literally, like Saturn whips your butt, Saturn wants us to be disciplined and to be responsible and to take, the necessary steps to become who we want to be. And so when we fall off the rail, if you will, Saturn whips us back in, onto that track.
Yeah, in the woodshed.
Yeah, it's like a father. It's like a father figure that disciplines their child. Really, that's the energy. And so sometimes, so Saturn, I don't want to mess with Saturn. So I don't want to sell the drugs to the crackhead down the street, because then, at some point Saturn is going to wait for me with the whip, So, yeah, but yeah.
See, Ada's got a really good point here. Look at this.
What did she say?
The pothead might be the millionaire.
You're going to like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? I don't want to take a chance. I want to align myself with those that are already doing what I want to become, so to speak.
There you go. There you go. Same thing Krista was just talking about,
Yeah.
Aligning and resonating with
exactly. Surround yourself with
Yeah.
With
those just a little higher than you. That's some of the best advice.
And surround yourself with the people.
Yeah, you want to surround yourself with people that have already done what you want to do, so that they could teach you the ropes, so to speak, or they can guide you, right, on how to do it your way. And that's really what this energy is all about for the next 3 months. This energy of Libra with the North Node conjunct Libra, and like I said, with the Capricorn Moon on that same day being in a square to the sun, it might be very difficult for some people to like weed out your garden, so to speak. I'm already set. I'm like, nope, you go over there. I'm going this way. And so, I don't want nothing to stop me, because like I said, your natal chart is a potential that you may or may not reach. I want to be able to reach it in this life. So, that's my advice to everybody. It's like, align yourself with the right energy so that you can achieve your goals. The number 8, before I give it over to Krista, is a very executive number. It's a number of a high achiever. It's a number of, being disciplined. It's ruled by Saturn, the number 8, which is, the ruler of Capricorn. So it's very aligned with this moon energy that I was talking about, in Capricorn on the 23rd. So, it wants you to, reach your goals, be responsible, be a pioneer, have a good standing in society, have a good reputation. That whole energy is that number 8. If I don't have a good reputation, who's going to come and see me? Who's going to come and, have a session with me? You know what I mean? To me, that's very important. And I'm sure it is to you both. And that's that energy of the 8, so that we can be successful and we can, reach those potentials. right? It's also the infinity sign, like we've said before, is also as above, so below. As it is, as it is within, so it is without. So all that kind of energy.
Very cool. Thanks so much for that, Damaris.
Oh, you're welcome.
Awesome. All right, my dear Krista, let's get moving.
All righty. Am I-
Is she
All right.
muted? Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I shouldn't be. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
no.
I might be lagging.
Glitched weirdly. Yeah, she's lagging.
I
That's what
might
it
be
is.
lagging.
Oh, okay.
Which is why we heard her voice after
Yeah,
the music.
I'm lagging.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Aha, that's it. Okay. Sorry, I'm lagging, everybody. You know, the joys of living, you know, in another country. All righty. It is Celestite, which is actually ideal because it's about creative expression. You know, when this
Beautiful
crystal came up this morning or yesterday I looked at it. What the crystal of the week was. For me, what came up was creative expression. What came up with also was connecting with that higher self. Awesome. That is beautiful. Connecting with your higher self. It's great. It is a great stone for connecting with your angels, so to speak. It is a wonderful stone also if you want to go down the avenue of dreaming and working within your dreams or working with your dreams. If you do want to do that, put it by your bed or bedside table, you know, put it on your bedside table. I actually have mine on my bedside table to help me sleep because I find that it's a very calming and very relaxing stone. So with what Damaris was saying, in terms of with the energy that's coming up, really it's here to support what she was saying in terms of, you know, use your voice to create a boundary, because it can be a creative boundary. It can be a creative, you know, you can get creative with what it is you're trying to express to people. And you can be creative in making your garden, you know, weeding that garden, as Damaris was saying, because ultimately, you know, it's your garden.
Yeah.
So you can make it as pretty as you want.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the energy, at least even as we're in that shadow phase of Mercury retrograde, the stone is just saying, be calm within, relax, you know, don't let anybody walk on you. So make sure you're expressing yourself, but stay calm, stay present. If you want to do something that's a bit beyond, that's great. Do it in your dream state.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to this is not the time for over expressing. Now, if you're somebody who's like, okay, Krista, that sounds great. However, I really feel like I'm not grounded right now. Well, you can work with Celestite and add some tourmaline. Black tourmaline and black obsidian. I'd say black tourmaline over black obsidian, because if you start playing with black obsidian, you better expect to be grounded. And I mean so grounded that you feel like you're underground, because you're just like, oh, right? You're like standing tall, like great oak. But when you work with black tourmaline, it is a bit softer. It is it's a strong stone, but because it has other minerals that grow within it, it really is, it's a great stone in terms of grounding. You'll be grounded. You won't feel like a tall great oak. You'll just feel more like a, you know, like you have your feet on.
Well, yeah. Keep in mind, tourmaline is tourmaline, right? But obsidian is volcanic glass, right? There's no striations in it. It is solid.
It is. Yes.
We always need a grounding stone when we're trying to go to, different levels, different dimensions, different, higher consciousness, because we also need to stay grounded. We can't just be, all up in the air.
Yeah. But if you're somebody who meditates, all up in the high, all up there. But if you're somebody who meditates, or you're somebody who grounds yourself every day by walking outside, in the trees, oh wait, this is so much fun. You're going to find that your grounding is not as necessary when you're working with a high elevation stone. Sometimes for you, that may actually be too grounding, and you don't ever get to that point because you're already so grounded because you're out gardening and you're doing all these other things that when you're trying to work with a high vibration stone, you'd be writing me and saying, so Krista, why do I feel like I'm like, barely getting my head above water? And I'd say, well, why don't you put that grounding stone to the side and then just start working with the high vibration stone and see how that works? Because there is such a thing as being too grounded, just like there is such a thing as being too airy fairy.
It's always balance, right? It's always a balance. And there we go with the Libra energy, right? Where we have to reach that balance, Because I've seen people that are too high up, and they're not grounded at all. And I'm like, OMG, And so we don't need that either, because we are having a physical experience.
I wonder if that's exactly what's going on with one of the girls that I work with, because sometimes she gets into modes where we just call her Daisy. And it's not like the flower. It's like Daisy. Right?
Probably.
And I think that because she does do a lot of manifestation work, and she's also very young, so she hasn't really had the opportunity to find the little pitfalls and the bits of the recipe that work right for her, kind of thing. So I'm wondering, maybe I should bring that up to her. Maybe she needs to start wearing a more grounding stone, so that she can stay more attached to the present, at least while we're at work, because I end up falling into mom mode and finishing all the stuff that she walked away from in the midst of the process. Yeah. That's getting really irritating.
So that could be also an energy draining your energy as well in some way, shape, or form. So you don't really need
definitely so, but I'm not in control of whether or not that relationship stays or goes. So I've got to learn how to manage the interactions with that relationship and keep it in balance.
Yes, absolutely. What were you going to say, Krista?
Gayle, when you work with her, wear labradorite. When you work with that young lady, Daisy, I know that isn't her name, wear labradorite.
Okay. I'll do that. I just
you'll find that will help.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll help you. And my sense is for her, like either probably black tourmaline, or I'm getting hematite for her.
Hematite seems more right.
I was thinking, and this is just my input, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm being shown hematite.
But I'm thinking about the Pisces Virgo energies, because Pisces has to do with the spiritual and emotional, and Virgo has to do with the mind and body. So since we're having a physical experience, which would be the Virgo energy, we need to bring the spiritual into the physical. So working with the Pisces Virgo energy, any stones that are working with Pisces and any stones that are working with Virgo, to kind of like mesh the spiritual and the physical into one. Any stones that you guys can recommend for that would be excellent too.
Let's let Krista ruminate on that one for a second, but I want to bring to your attention specifically about this particular girl. She's an Aries, so that South Node this next week.
The North Node.
For her. The North Node.
The North Node is in Aries. The South Node is in Libra.
Right. But with us going into Libra, isn't that going to like not that I know it's not going to flip or anything like that, but is that not going to, for her anyway, being in Aries, bring up a whole different teaching palette, if you will, than
so
it does
the
for
Aries,
somebody like me who's a Libra?
yeah. So the Aries is all about the full potential because it's the North Node. It's about us reaching that potential. The South Node in Libra is about the people that are going to help us reach our full potential. So in her case, she has to find the people, which could be you, to help her reach that potential. And so that's what we have to weed out. We have to weed out the ones that are draining us and just stay with the ones that are going to support us in our goals and to reach the potential. And so that's where the relationships where we have to sort of weed out, which ones are staying, which ones are going. I just want to add really quick because I was just thinking about it. Let's use us hypothetically speaking, because we're a group, right? And so if one of us, say, hypothetically speaking, is not helping or pulling the group together, right, to reach our potential, then that would be something also that would need to be discussed and say, yo, Damaris, you're not really pulling for us and we're a team. And in this situation, either you pull or you got to go and got to be replaced. I'm just giving you a hypothetical because this is a team.
As long as you're not giving us your resignation. Okay.
I'm just saying, right? So
I was just like, what is this?
It's with any group, right? It's within any group, any company, right? Any business, because this has to also do with business relationships. If someone is not a team player, then that has to be looked at as well, because the goal is to take, let's say, the 3 Crones to the next level. If one of us is not pulling together to do that, then that person has to be either talked to, eliminated, whatever, because this also is not just about friendships, co-workers, marriages, family. It's about also business partnerships. And so I'm bringing that up because it's something happening with my husband and where he works, very similar to what I'm saying. I'm just using our business as the example because I don't want to.
And there's a very, very salient example or explanation of what I'm dealing with at work with that particular person. Because when you leave things left half done and move off to go do other things, right? That's not pulling your weight. That needs to be addressed or let go of.
Exactly.
Right? So,
exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Anywhere around.
Yep. So like really quick with my husband, like there's one person that's not pulling his weight, but then there's a salary that's going to this person. So that potentially is money going out the window because that person is not really doing the job. That money can be utilized for the rest of the people, giving some sort of benefit to the rest of the employees, that then they could be more motivated to push the company to the next level instead of dealing with someone that's actually depleting the company, if you will. With us, we're not getting paid, so it's not, like that. But nonetheless, we still have a goal to reach. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Beautifully. All right, my dear. Continue, Krista.
Okay, so I don't really have anything else to add today. I'll think about the crystal question that you asked, Damaris, and put something in our Facebook group because that's a really good question. And I'll put it in there. But no, I am done. I throw it over to you, Gayle.
Well, I am going to lob it back to you for you to tell us all about Patreon, because this next weekend we've got another one coming up.
Oh, that's right. We do. So yes, we have, if you guys really enjoy spending time with us, please think of becoming a Patreon member and joining the Amethyst level in order to join us for twice a month for our Moon and Woo. And we will be doing a full moon on Monday coming up for what did we say it's going to be in?
Full moon in Aries.
The full moon.
In Aries.
It'll be full moon in Aries. Thank you. I'm like, what? I can't remember.
What was
It'll
that?
be the full moon in
Full moon
Aries.
in Aries on
And
the-
it will
the 29th, but we do it
Yeah.
before.
Yes.
And we also have
And
equinox.
if I
Yeah, on
remember,
the 23rd.
and we have the equinox, which is this Saturday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Already. Can you believe it?
And so
You see her.
Krista's about any opportunity to dance naked in the moonlight. I swear.
Yes.
shh, I don't want my neighbors looking out the window. Thankfully, I have very tall bushes, so I can go
Okay.
dance behind them naked.
Okay. That works.
In the moon.
Little corner only Kevin can see.
Well, he couldn't even see it if I chose to do it. He'd have to come and be up there with me.
There you go. Make it an adventure.
There you go.
Wait. That was awesome conversation. And as always, this pulls together really, really well. Because we are trying to elevate our spirit in a number of different ways over the last couple of months, right? And what the end goal, I think, is for all of us is peaceful success, right? Like you want to have that sense of success that says, I've done something. I've done something wonderfully. I've met all of the challenges.
You're putting off, Gayle.
Oh, I'm not here. All right. It doesn't even look like a slow. I think it's on your side because I don't have the little Wi-Fi thing saying that I'm being slow or that I have slow data. Okay. All right. So peaceful success. We all want to have that vibe, right? Like the things that we have done have been successful. They have paid off the way that we intended them to when we started doing it, right? There's no emotional roller coaster. There's no, I'm flush with money this week. I'm dirt poor the next roller coaster. There is this even plane of I got here through ethical, moral, legitimate means, and now I've got the slow little indicator thingy. All right, so you've got there by good means. And you have your reputation intact, all right? Now, the only way that you can literally do this, all right, is by invoking your higher thinking, your higher realms, all right? Never forget, you have legions of angels ready to do your bidding on your behalf, okay? People don't realize this. There are entities in the world around us that are just waiting to be of service to us. Right. And we can call on them. We can ask that, in the past, when many times going to a job interview, right? Remember the days when you actually went to the business to do the job interview, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I would always, on the drive there, I would be like, angels.
Yep.
Go ahead of me and open their hearts to resonate with me if, during this meeting, right? And then if it was a position that after having the meeting was over, when the meeting was over, if it was a position that I wanted on the drive home, I would say, all right, angels, if this is the place that I am to serve, I say yes. Go make sure they say yes too. And every single time that I said that and asked them to work on my behalf, I got the job. All right, I did. So that's what I'm suggesting to all of you this week. We need to take a look at how we can elevate who we are. Right. And this goes back into, what we're willing to tolerate what kind of energetic drains we're willing to tolerate, what kind of annoyances we're willing to accommodate that are sucking our time away, and so on. But it's not from a fix them point of view. It's about refining ourselves, elevating ourselves, elevating our communication, elevating our compassion, elevating our thinking, our mental level of things, in order to step into, just as if we are walking out of an elevator that just lined up with the top floor of the building we were in, right? So that we've risen. And then when the doors open, we step out with no gain or loss. We're right there. All right. This is your domain. This is your world. This is what you have created to live inside of in this next age, the age of Aquarius, where each of us independently are peer-to-peer contributing to the world as a whole. Okay. Where we're not waiting for the landlords, right? The lords to hand us our box of supplies to go home and be serfs for the rest of the year, right? We are creating community gardens and sharing our excess among each other. Okay. It's the best kind of analogy that I can put to it. The shift that we're going from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, right? We don't need all those big institutions siphoning money off the top.
No.
We need relational interaction among us as human beings, as respectful people and good neighbors on this planet, right? So you're this,
and everybody has to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and some of us may be on the receiving end this week of those conversations where where somebody's telling you, hey, look, you got to step up or step out, one or the other.
That's it.
It's that simple. Step up or step out, you know.
That's
and if
that simple.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do, you know, make that choice, whichever is the best choice for you. Okay. Because I'm not saying this is not about an us them type of thing. This is,
No.
It's not. It's about, if you're getting that communication that you need to step up or step out, then you need to actually take a real look for yourself. Do you want to step out in that environment, in that world there, right? Or would it actually work better for you to step out and only your codependency or your unwillingness to admit failure or your whatever story might be going on in your head that keeps you attached to that because you're scared of that, right? Maybe that's not as scary as you've made yourself believe, right? And maybe that is the access to you becoming more than you ever thought you were capable of being, right? If you just explore that possibility. Right now, you guys know that's something that I ran up against in the last few weeks or so, where it was like everything was fine except for a few minor annoyances. Mm-hmm. And then boom, something happened where all of a sudden I've got an access to all these things that I said I was dreaming of doing, but I couldn't do it because my time was blocked up over here. Okay. So again, that's the same kind of pathway that you are all going to find yourself on as well. It's not just specific to me, specific to Libras. It's not. We're all doing this in our own phase at some point in time, and this is all going to come into being by the beginning of next year, right? Now, I know that a lot of us cannot deal with this if it's not solved in 30 minutes. I don't know what to do with myself, right? We were programmed by the Brady Bunch and solutions half an hour. It doesn't happen that way in galactic terms, okay? We got planets that take 30 years to fucking make one revolution, all right? This stuff takes time. So be patient with yourself. Take the time daily to sit with things like Krista was saying. See where your part is in it. See where you can elevate yourself. See where you
I just want to add something, Gayle.
Go ahead.
So what I wanted to add was that remember that Pluto is going through the last threes in Capricorn in November. It will switch, right? So it's going completion. So what are we completing? What do we need to complete? You know, relationships is one of it. But also remember, Capricorn is all about us stepping. We are who we're becoming. So what needs to be completed before we step into that energy, which from now till November, we have to complete. We have to, whatever story we're telling ourselves, we have to get rid of if that story is blocking us, right? So I just wanted to add that with the Pluto energy.
Yes, thank you. And oh geez. And that the Pluto is the last planet. Once that starts heading forward again, and all planets are into the new, right? That's the final step in January of 2024, is when Pluto makes its final, when it completes its completion,
moving
the age of
into
Pisces will be completely over, right? There won't be a single planet that's still hanging out in that paradigm. It will all be Age of Aquarius going forward from next January. Okay. So we need to be doing the work now, because if you don't do the work now and January comes up, right?
I believe that it's going to.
I don't know what's going to happen, quite honestly.
She's cutting off. So
no,
I couldn't
you
understand what Gayle was saying. I'm sorry, Gayle.
It's okay. No worries. All right, we need to get to the end of this today, so let's move it along. Here we go. All right, so today's card is, of course, once again, everything falls into place. The Chariot. This is all about keeping, this is all about keeping very, very tight reins and keeping in control those forces in our lives that would pull us in either direction. Okay. And, if you're doing what you need to do and standing firm, grounded with 2 feet planted on the floor, and you've got those reins in your hands, you can be as subtle or as gentle or as fierce as you need to be to keep those beasts under control in your life. All right. You've got this. You've got the Celestite to take you up. You've got the grounding to take you down. You've got what you need to take the time to look for yourself on what is going to be the life you choose to have from 2024 and beyond. How are you going to do it? How are you going to show up? How are you going to bring your part? All right. And just know that you have what it takes to keep these beasts in charge, right? Like in control, in your control. All right. Because this is not the card of train wreck. There's no train wreck card. Okay. This is Chariot. You've got what it takes. All right. Keep it all in line. All right. Awesome. Now, congratulations to our woo-woo giveaway winner this week, Joyce Saucedo. Oh, I love that name. Congratulations, Joyce. Thank you so much for being part of 3 Crones and the Woo-Woo, our Coven of Joy. All you have to do to collect your prize is to reach out to one of us, choose who you would like to get your reading from, and then, let us know that you chose us and you would like to get on our schedule. So for those of you who don't know, the 3 Crones give away a 30-minute reading once a week. You get to choose who does the reading for you. If you pick me, it will be an intuitive tarot reading. If you pick Miss Krista, it will be a crystal reading. And if you choose Miss Damaris, it will be a numerology reading. All right. So all you have to do, Joyce, is reach out to one of us in Facebook Messenger and tell us who you want to do your reading and then get on our schedule. And for all of you who did not win this week, please know that at any time you can reach out to any one of us 3 Crones for any of the services that we offer at a 3 Crones discount. So speak with each of us individually on what we're offering and how much that discount is. All right? Excellent. So thank you all once again for joining us this week. It's a pleasure as always. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, Damaris. And thank you for everyone who makes this such a fun event each week. All of our guests watching on YouTube If you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you all and have a fantastic week ahead.